Growing up in Park City has made me realize how fortunate and lucky we are to have certain things. I remember my first day of third grade. My family just moved to Park City 2 months ago, and I was so excited to meet new people. It took us 3 years to sell our house in New Jersey, and I bottled up all my excitement to be opened on this day. When I walked towards the school, I saw something that might have blown my little third grader mind to the sky. A playground. Not just one, but 2 playgrounds. And they were huge. Being a kid and playing on a playground was one of the most exciting moments of my life. It was the perfect chance for kids to let all their energy out and parents to sit and relax. I felt like a whole new world of imagination was right at my fingertips. When it was time for recess, I made a beeline towards the door, and when everyone was outside, I told them, guys, you have 2 playgrounds. And for a second, they all stared at me like I was a Martian. Technically, I was, considering my skin was so white it illuminated, and I had some New Jersey accent everyone commented on. But my smile was huge, and my little mind told me to be excited because I've never seen 2 playgrounds so big at one school. I grew up in a small town where I wasn't used to having everything handed to me. But growing up in a resort town, you have everything you need at the palm of your hand without complaint. So you can expect my disappointment when they said, "Yeah, we know." I felt deflated. As a little kid, every single butterfly in the sky and coloring book was exciting because everything was so simple. This was the first sign of complaining or lack of gratitude I experienced. Throughout my school years, complaints ranged from going to school to how terrible the lunches are. Just in America, 16 million kids aren't receiving food every day. And here we are with food right at our disposal, and we feel like it's never good enough. We keep screaming about the problems in the world without thinking of solutions. Throughout our lifespan, we tend to forget how lucky we are to be alive. We see the flashing billboards of skinny models and 80-year-old women with no wrinkles. We feel lonely and out of place, as if we're not meant to look how we look or be proud of our body. Women especially are constantly tormented for not being model thin or wearing the in-style clothes. We feel as if we're forced to be someone we're not. The cord from the brain to the body is sliced in half, and we're controlled by the power of society. One of the main reminders of our lack of gratitude today is complaining, because everyone does it. If you're telling yourself right now that you have never complained in your life, then you're lying to yourself. We complain about everything these days. Why? Because it makes conversations interesting. No one wants to hear about your happy and safe flight. We want to hear about how terrible it was to sit in front of the toddler who kicked the back of your seat, or the man who fell asleep on your shoulder and wouldn't wake up. We have evolved as a society to turn little white lies into criticizing everything that goes wrong in life. And I find it astonishing to hear the whines and moping about the craziest things people would kill for. I've recognized the gratitude of simple things because I know what it's like to lose everything. In 2011 through 2013, the economy was in a terrible place, and so was my family. My dad lost his job, and my mom had to re-enter the workforce. My dad works in New Jersey, and I rarely get to see him. Even on holidays like Christmas, I would spend without seeing my dad. Throughout my childhood, I received a lot of attention from my parents. So that time in my life was manageable. However, my little sisters, Chloe and Kate, weren't as lucky as I was. Chloe was 10 and Kate was 6, and they craved the attention from their dad, who simply wasn't able to give it to them. I remember when my dad would come and visit us in Utah, and once he left, Kate would be crying, wondering why her dad had to go. As her older sister, I felt useless, wishing I could do something to help. Throughout this tough time, I learned how valuable clean clothes and spending money wisely is. This stereotype of Park City is a perfect rich town with perfect rich people. This stereotype shadows the families in poverty who are trying to survive in a world of wealth and riches. We need to understand that life isn't perfect, and some people aren't as fortunate as others. If we put all the energy we use into criticizing issues and problems, into thinking of solutions, we would astonish ourselves with how productive we are. Gandhi once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." If we want to create progress in the environment we live in, then let's focus on the resolution, not the situation. Remember, you were given a purpose when you were born, and part of that task is to reflect the aura and personality you want the world to be. Thank you.